Hello, my name is Louise and you can find me on Instagram and YouTube at Louise Does Life. Today I want to talk about minimalism. It's something I really believe in but something I haven't talked about much yet, so I'm really excited to start talking about it. I thought I would start this series on minimalism by explaining what minimalism is and what it means to me. So when asked to picture minimalism, most people will picture this really extreme image of someone who lives with hardly any possessions or lives in like a really monochrome, boring house. And they just, it's this very extreme thing in their mind. It's this person who's trying to live with as few items as possible. And I see two issues with this image. The first is that it distracts from the true purpose of minimalism. In my opinion, minimalism isn't about trying to live with as few possessions as possible. It's about intentionality. And intentionality is kind of this golden word in my brain, and I sometimes like to call it intentionality instead of minimalism because I think it scares people away less, and it's more about what it actually means, or what it means to me at least. To me, minimalism is not about living with as few possessions as possible. Instead, it's about living a really intentional life. It's about making sure that the objects that I bring into my life and that I allow to take up space in my life are there because they serve a purpose, I use them regularly, and they bring me joy. It's also ensuring about the activities that I do and the people that I spend time with are similarly adding value to my life. An intentional life ensures that we're truly doing what we want to do with our limited time on this earth, which I believe is the key to a meaningful life. So I first discovered minimalism from a podcast by two guys who call themselves The Minimalists. I would highly check it out. I support them on Patreon and they still make this incredible podcast. And they discuss all these different issues doing minimalism. So their premise is that they had these big jobs, they were earning like $200k a year, and then they realised that they weren't happy. And so they gave it all up, and now they just tour and talk about minimalism, and that's how they've made their living. And they have said at some point they earn like 20-30k a year, but they're actually so much happier than they ever were before. So they often say that it's not about getting rid of things, it's about all that remains, is what they talk about. It's about focusing your life and really focusing on the things that make you happy and that make your life better. Minimalism allows us to focus on the things we love by removing the excess. Minimalism also encourages us to feel gratitude in our lives because we're surrounded by these things we love, and gratitude has been shown to increase happiness. The more intentionality we can bring into our lives, the clearer our focus becomes, allowing us not only to be more productive but also happier. There are many stories about how minimalism has changed people's lives. For example, some people say that by reducing how much they were spending, they were actually able to take a job that pays less but that they're much more passionate about and that brings them much more joy, or they're able to work 4 days a week and spend more time on their passion projects on the side. So I said there were two issues with the image of like a really extreme minimalist view, and I haven't told you what the second one yet is. The second one, in my opinion, is that it's really polarizing. People either love this image or they hate this image, and in my opinion that's a problem because I see minimalism as like an ideal or a movement that we should all be thinking about. I believe that everyone should talk about minimalism and discuss it, and then they can use it in their lives to whatever extent they want. You can choose to live with as few items as possible, or you can simply declutter your wardrobe and reduce your decision fatigue. I prefer to see minimalism as this philosophy rather than seeing minimalist as a title to aspire to. So yeah, that was a really short video, but that's how I see minimalism. I see it as about bringing intentionality into your life, asking yourself, why am I doing this? Is this something I really want? Analysing your choices, making sure that everything you do is intentional. Don't just do things because they're easy, make sure you're doing them because they're the things that you really want. Okay. As I said, I'm excited to make some more content about minimalism, but I thought it was really important to start with this introduction to my approach towards minimalism. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.